Thank you. Morning, everyone. Today's a disappearance day of Sri Abhirama Thakur, so I thought we would sing Jaya Nilo Ramadana. Page 78. Jaya Nilo Prema Dana Karuna Prachur Hey no Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur. Kaha Mora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan. Kaha Dasa Ragu Nata Patita Pavan. Kaha Mora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kavira. Heka Kale Kota Gela Goranatara. Pashane Kutibo Mata Anale Pashibo. Goranga Gunera Nidhi Kota Gele Pabo. Se Saba Sangira Sange Ye Koilo Bilas. Se Sangana Paya Kande Narottamada. Jaya Nilo Premadana Karuna Prachur. Hey no Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Radhe. Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya, Astottara Shata Shri Srimad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya, Astottara Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakura Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki. Shri Mathura Dham Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Sankirtan Yagya Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Let us read the translation. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where is such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatana? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopala Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama Das simply weeps. Magyana Timurandasya Ganajana Shalakya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Putam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakampatam Cha Hey Krishna Korana Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Drupischa Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Morning, everyone, again. So today is the disappearance day. Sri Abhirama Thakur. So I thought I'd read a little bit about this personality. There's actually quite a bit about this personality, so I'll read some anyways. Sri Abhiram Gopal Thakur was also known as Sri Ram Das. He was a great devotee of Lord Nityananda. On the order of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he became a great acharya and preacher of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. He was a very influential personality, and atheists and blasphemers were very much afraid of him. Empowered by Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he was always in ecstasy and was kind to all fallen souls. It is said that if he offered obeisances to any stone other than a Shalagram Shila, it would immediately burst into pieces. According to Gaura Ganodesh Deepika, in Krishna Lila, he was Sridham, one of the 12 prominent boy cowherd friends of Sri Krishna. He was Nityananda's dearmost devotee. Abhiram Gopal's wife's name was Sri Malini Devi. Abhiram Gopal Thakur lived in Kanakula Krishnanagara. Kanakula Krishnanagar may be visited by taking the narrow gauge train from Howrah Station in Calcutta to Amla, or Amta. It is located in the present Hooghly district of West Bengal. There in Kanakula Krishnanagara, near the bank of the Kana River, is the temple of Abhiram Thakur. Because it is a town, Nagara, with a Krishna temple, the town is called Krishna Nagara. And because the temple is on the Kula banks of the Kana, it is called Kanakula Krishna Nagara. Just outside the temple is a Bakula tree. This place is known as Siddha Bakula Kunj. It is said that Abhiram Thakur used to like sitting beneath this tree. The story of how the Gopinath deity of Kanakula Krishna Nagara was established as follows. One day, the deity of Gopinath appeared to Abhiram Gopal in a dream and informed him that he wanted to manifest himself in Kanakula Krishna Nagara. It is said that he was buried in the earth and that in the dream he ordered Abhiram Gopal to excavate him and inaugurate his worship. Abhiram Gopal went to the place where the Lord had indicated he would be found and began excavation. There, after digging for some time, he found the mind-enchanting deity of Sri Gopinath. The place where this discovery was made is now called Ramakund, and there is a small lake there. The Bhakti Ratnakara says, after having excavated the Gopinath deity, all the devotees headed by Ram Das, Abhiram Gopal, bathed in the sacred waters of the Kund near the spot where the deity had been found. From that day on, the Kund became famous as Rama Kund. Whoever bathes there becomes free from repeated birth and death. One day, Sri Abhiram Gopal was overwhelmed with the ecstasy of Sakya Ras and had a desire to play the flute of a cowherd boy. Intoxicated by the bliss of Krishna Prem, he began searching the four directions for a suitable flute. As he searched through the forest for a suitable instrument, all at once he saw before him a big log. The log was so huge that 16 men could not move it. Grabbing hold of that log, he turned it into a flute and began to play upon it. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Ram Das was one of the principal branches of the Nityananda branch of the Chaitanya tree of Bhakti. He was full of Sakya Prem, love of Krishna saturated with the mellow of friendship. He once picked up a log that 16 men couldn't lift and used it as a flute. Sri Abhiram Thakur had a bullwhip that was imbued with divine power. This is far out, this bullwhip. Anyways, its name was Jayamangala. Whoever was struck with this whip became filled with Krishna Prem. One day, Srinivasacharya went to take darshan of Abhiram Gopal. At that time, Abhiram Gopal touched him 3 times with Jayamangala. The Thakur's good wife, Malini, cried out, "My lord, do not touch him again. Calm yourself. Srinivas is only a boy. If you touch him again, he will lose consciousness." As a result of coming in contact with the whip of Abhiram Thakur, Srinivasacharya became filled with Sri Krishna Prem. I don't know. Maybe I heard about that before, but that's just so far out, this Jayamangala whip. I don't know if he was just whipping people or just touching people with it, but I don't know, that's just so cool that he could just give people prema like that. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu to preach in Bengal, he sent Abhiram Gopal and Gadadhar Das along with him. Simply upon seeing Abhiram Gopal, atheists and blasphemers would flee in terror. He was a remarkable scholar, well-versed in the scriptures. He married his wife Malini upon the order of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. His disappearance day is on the 7th day of the dark moon in the month of Chaitra, and on that day a great festival attended by thousands of devotees is held every year in Kanakula, Krishna Nagara. So when I was reading about this personality, the bullwhip, that's just far out. But then I was noticing that, it doesn't mention his father and mother like it usually does. So then I was reading about how Abhiram Thakur came to be, and that story is a pretty good story. So I just thought I would share that with you. Let me just get that. Okay. So one day in Dwarpa Yuga, Krishna, Balaram, and their cowherd friends were playing hide and seek in the woods of Vrindavan. Suddenly, Krishna remembered Nadia and wanted to go there and enjoy some pastimes there. Taking Balaram and all their friends with him, he advented in Navadvip. Somehow, Sridham got left behind in Vraj and remained in his hiding place in a cave. When everyone was performing kirtan in Navadvip, Gauranga Mahaprabhu suddenly remembered Sridham. Horripilating in ecstatic love, he shed tears and called out, "Ah, Sridham, where shall I find you now?" And he fell unconscious. Nityananda Prabhu lifted him onto his lap and brought him back to consciousness. When asked the reason for his distress, Mahaprabhu said, "Where is Sridham? Tell me where he is. I will go immediately and bring him." Mahaprabhu further revealed to Nityananda, "He is living in Vrindavan. Go there and bring him here quickly. I am heartbroken in his absence." Pacifying Sri Gauranga, Nityananda Prabhu assured him that he would find Sri Dham and bring him back to Navadvip. Nitai Ram set out and eventually reached Govardhan area in Vraj. Nityananda Prabhu was wearing his usual blue dhoti and Angavastra and had his hair tied in a knot on the top of his head. Arriving near Govardhan Hill, Nityananda started calling out, "Sri Dham!" again and again. Finally, Sri Dham came out of the cave to see who was calling him. Seeing the strange man dressed in blue, Sri Dham asked, "Who are you? Why are you calling me?" Nityananda introduced himself as Balaram and said that his name was previously Balai. However, Sri Dham had a doubt in his mind due to the different appearance and get-up of Nityananda. That the stature of people in Dwapara Yuga is much taller than the people in Kali Yuga. Sri Dham said, "If you are really Balai, then you should be as powerful as him. I shall clap my hands and run. If you are truly Balai, then you will be able to catch me." Hearing this, Nitai said, "Run if you must. Let's see how far you'll be able to go." Clapping his hands, Sri Dham said, "Ha, Balai, you will not be able to catch me." Sri Dham Gopal then tied his cloth tightly between his legs in the manner of a wrestler and began to run around Govardhan Hill. After circumambulating Sri Giriraj 4 times, he looked back to see if Nityananda had caught up with him. Seeing that Nitai had kept pace, he thought, "This is indeed Balaram." Sri Dham said, "You must be tired, my friend. Take some rest now. Since I did not see your form of Balaram, I had some doubt in my mind, but you went around Govardhan 4 times. Who else but Benai has the energy to do that?" Then he asked, "Tell me why you come looking for me." Nityananda replied, "Krishna fell unconscious because he could not see you." Sri Dham asked, "Where is Kanai gone?" Nityananda replied, "Now everyone is gone to Navadvip. If you will accompany me, we will have some special pastimes there. Come quickly." Sri Dham said, "No, I shall not go. Going with you means that I will have to live in someone's womb there. Considering the pain, who wants to live in that condition? I will not go." Nityananda said, "Just come with me and let us discuss the matter with Kanai. You can remain for now as you are." And I actually read a different version of this story where Sri Dham manifests a version of himself that is Abhirama Das to go to perform these Navadvip pastimes. But anyways, we'll continue. Sri Dham laughed and said, "All right then, carry me on your shoulders. All that running has made me tired." Nitai said, "If I refuse, then you will go around telling everyone that I cannot carry you because of the difference in our respective sizes. You are the chief amongst us cowherd boys. Please consider that you should be sympathetic about the happiness and distress of others." Sri Dham said, "Well, you and I are just the same. You very well know that when Krishna's side loses, I sometimes carry you on my back." Nityananda replied, "Everyone knows that you are subjugated by Kanai's love. None of the pastimes that happen in Vraj by day or by night are unknown to you. All the other cowherd boys always sing your praises. Come now, let us go and meet Gauranga." All the 12 Gopals, 12 intimate associates of Lord Nityananda, who are the expansions of the 12 primary cowherd boys, Gopas, in Krishna Lila, and 64 Mahantas, know you and sing your praises. Hearing these words, Sri Dham went and got dressed. He dressed himself in a very enchanting way. The beauty of his hair, dress, and cowherder's paraphernalia was extremely attractive. Soon the 2 of them approached Navadvip. When Sri Gauranga saw that they had arrived, he embraced Sri Dham and started talking to him. "Where have you been? What kind of bliss were you in that I had to send Nityananda to bring you here?" Sri Dham asked, "Tell me the reason for your appearance here. Why do you all have shaven heads and wear these rags? Seeing your condition breaks my heart." Mahaprabhu explained, "Sri Dham, with the end of Dwapara Yuga, the influence of Kali began. In this age, renunciation is proper." Sri Dham said, "I don't understand. Please explain." In the moods of Krishna, Mahaprabhu said, there are 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwarpa, and Kali. In Dwarpa, Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. In Kali Yuga, he incarnates as Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Now in the beginning of Kali Yuga, I shall reveal this truth, which is also mentioned in the Shastras. You should know that my form as Krishna Chaitanya is the very same as my form of Krishna. Gaura Lila and Krishna Lila are one. In Gaura Lila, I and my associates have assumed the role of devotees and are relishing the mellows of love of Krishna. Now my name is Krishna Chaitanya, and from today you will be known as Abhiram. Nityananda Prabhu called everyone and smiling said, from today he will be known as Abhiram. We have kept this name since it indicates that there is no difference between Sridham and me. After the disappearance of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Abhiram Thakur continued to live with Veerbhadra Gosai, Nityananda Prabhu's son. By the grace of Nityananda Prabhu, Abhiram Thakur became a great acharya and preacher of the Chaitanya cult of devotional service. It is said, I already read that part, but Abhiram Thakur ki There's actually more about Abhiram Thakur, but that's it for now. As we can see, he's a great personality who was able to spread the love of Godhead and able to imbue people with Krishna Prem. He had this special, power, if you will, to spread the love of Godhead. And today I also wanted to mention, it's not technically the disappearance day of Jesus Christ, but it's like the reappearance day, if you will. But I guess his disappearance day would have been Friday, Good Friday. Is that right? Reappearance day. So I don't want to talk too much about that. But I wanted to mention Jesus Christ because he's an important figure in our modern history, in everybody's history. Everybody's just even a little bit familiar with Jesus Christ, even if they don't know anything about him. When I was thinking about it, I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to all the way through high school. And during that time, it was kind of like impressed upon me the importance of Jesus Christ, the importance of following in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. And so what did Jesus, what were his most important teachings? What were his main teachings? And his main teachings were love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. And there was also, he also taught kindness and forgiveness and service. He had an attitude of service to others, service to God. So basically what he was doing is preaching love of Godhead to the present people, the people of his time. And this Abhiram Thakur, he was also preaching love of Godhead. And what's amazing about Jesus Christ is that he is still influencing people today, still influencing people to take up the path of service and love of God in a world where it's pretty much the opposite. And growing up with that that role model of Jesus Christ, I feel like has been very, very formative to have a role model that is compassionate, forgiving, caring to others, and whose main goal is love of Godhead. So when coming to Krishna consciousness and surrendering to the process, reading Prabhupada's books, my bringing up in Christianity began to make so much more sense. Like when you're a little kid, you learn about religion, you accept religion, but it doesn't really make sense until you get older and you go through some sort of hardship or some sort of awakening, and then it's like, aha, okay, I see what's going on. Maybe that, there is suffering, maybe there is a God. And, but then when you come to Krishna conscious, but as you're growing up, it didn't really click. But then after going and having some major catastrophes or whatever you will in my life, and then coming to Krishna consciousness, then everything starts to make more sense. I can see that Jesus was like this major teacher, this major guru, if you will, teaching the love of Godhead. He's just starting to teach people about like the basics of how to approach God and how to live in this world so you can purify yourself to approach God. And then in Krishna consciousness, we have even more detailed description of who God is and how to serve Him, and the process of Krishna consciousness. So, anyways, Jesus is super powerful. His surrender to God and his ability to imbue people with love of Godhead is almost unsurpassed because it's has been so influential over the years. And I feel like this Krishna consciousness movement is just like the next step, in religious evolution, if you will. In my personal evolution, like I was trying to imply, I was just getting some basics, and then once I came into contact with devotees of Krishna and was able to start surrendering and chanting and reading, then everything just makes so much more sense, and then I can continue and see, okay, how to be kind, what am I trying to say? That the real goal is love of God and how to please God and how to share that with everyone else. I just wanted to read a quote from Srila Prabhupada about Jesus being a great preacher. And, one of the reasons Easter is celebrated is because Jesus was persecuted for preaching love of Godhead in his time. And the government couldn't handle it. He was causing, an uproar, so they crucified him. They killed him for it. And, preaching love of Godhead, while it sounds good and happy, sometimes it's not all fun and games. You may be persecuted. But anyways, this is from Light of the Bhagavat. In the age of Kali, as described before, people in general no longer take pleasure in the presence of saints and sages, nor are they interested in spiritual enlightenment. The saints and sages, however, take all risks to propagate the message of Godhead. Lord Jesus Christ, Thakur Haridas, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and many such sages risk their life to propagate the message of Godhead. Self-realized saints and sages take such risks for the spiritual enlightenment of the people in general. They do not take vows of silence meant to win cheap glory from the ignorant mass of people. God is satisfied only when his devotees take all sorts of risks to propagate his glories. Such devotees are unafraid of this difficult journey to cross the ocean of nescience. They are always anxious for the welfare of the fallen souls who are attached to the false enjoyment of materialistic life in which they forget their eternal relation with God. So Jesus was a very compassionate person, and compassion can go out of style sometimes. And in this modern world, it almost seems like that. If you turn on the news, it seems like the opposite is the way you're supposed to do things, try and be greedy and lord things over and try to take from people and try to control. That's not compassion, and that's definitely not going to help spread love of Godhead. You have to have compassion, tolerance, to spread the love of God. Nobody wants to be forced into love. And just being compassionate and showing joy and empathy can do so much to encourage people to take up love of God, Krishna consciousness. It can encourage people to take up the path to purify themselves, to reconnect with God. And Jesus was one of many preachers, empowered people that could do that. And he was doing it to a people in his place and time. And I just kind of want to use these personalities, these examples to fire ourselves up, to get ourselves going, to keep ourselves going in Krishna consciousness, to keep ourselves going in the process, but also to encourage us to preach, to share what we have, to help alleviate some of the suffering that's going on in the world. We may not be able to change the world or influence it on the scale of, let's say, Jesus Christ, but we can do our part by sharing this knowledge, this gift that we've been given by Srila Prabhupada with others. We're almost out of time. I just wanted to open it up for some comments and questions.
I think it's important to note that just as we have, there's opposition to spreading Krishna consciousness from scientists and from intellectuals and scholars, that Jesus' preaching, he had big opposition from the priestly class, who were all basically saying that he's not following the rules and regulations of our religion, and he's standing outside of the norms. So in the same way, Prabhupada, he broke the norm. He basically said, stop listening to these so-called intellectuals and leaders, because what they're giving you isn't really the truth. The truth is not that. The truth isn't in science or in rituals, but it's in chanting the holy name. And Jesus, in his prayers, he says, hallowed be thy name. He says, God's name is holy. So there's some parallel there.
I had a similar upbringing in the Catholic Church myself, going through school, all the way through high school with nuns, and a lot of devotional activity being performed every single day. So when I came to Krishna consciousness, I was kind of an agnostic at that point. But everything that was given, all their bringing that was given at the school, just all of a sudden flourished. So I understand what you're saying, that everything that was there is like a platform to take up Krishna consciousness. Thank you for a very nice class and sharing about your experiences.
You actually kind of explained my experience better than I could, because that was also similar. Like after my upbringing, or after I got out of high school, I was kind of like agnostic. It wasn't really on my radar. But then once something happened, and then I met devotees, it was like, oh, okay, all right, now I can see what everybody was trying to like hint at, trying to get me to do, and that's surrender to God, Try to love God. That's your whole purpose, because everything else. Another thing Jesus would talk about is, that if you love this material world, you can't. You can't do both. You can't serve and love the material world and then be in God's world at the same time. So I encourage everyone to continue chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you for your attention. I apologize for any offenses. Sri Abhirama Thakur ki, Jesus Christ ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Dipan Dikayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya
Kularam Jana Kana Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara. 7. Kalya Damona Vidana Kalya Damona Vidana Amalaharinam Mamiya Vilasa Amalaharinam Amiya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vansivadana Suvasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vansivadana Suvasa Prajajana Palana Surakulana Sana Prajajana Palana Surakulana Sana Nanda Godanara Koala Nanda Godanara Koala Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Sundarananda Gopala Sundarananda Gopala Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Amalaharinam Mamiya Vilasa Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Bhakati Vinodasraya Ya Soma Chinandana Brajobaronagara Gokula Ramjana Kana. Hello. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Golokananda Radha Golokananda Radhe. Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jayo Sri Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Sri Vrindavan. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Haribo. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaura Brahmanandi.
Lord Krishna is beloved Son. Known by the nickname Kana, the wealth of the lies of the gopis, the attractor of Cupid, and punisher of the serpent Kaliya. These pure holy names of Lord Hari are full of sweet nectarian pastimes. Lord of the 12 forests of Braja, ever youthful, the best of lovers, player of the flute, and excellent dresser, protector of the inhabitants of Braj, destroyer of demoniac dynasties, keeper and tender of Nanda's cows, giver of pleasure to cows, land, and spiritual senses, husband of the goddess of fortune, butter thief, and beautiful little cowherd boy of Nanda Maharaj, wanderer of the Yamuna riverbanks, thief of the garments of the gopis, enjoyer of the mellows of the rasa dance, very merciful, lover and beloved of Sri Radha, the great dancer in Vrindavan, and the only shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki Jai. And yesterday we had a really nice Harinam Sankirtan in Durham at 5 Points. So we encourage everyone, as the weather gets better and people come out, it's really nice to get out there and give the holy name to everyone who comes by. Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapinam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Puri Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapitani Amita Smarane Nakala Etadvishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mama. These snowballs don't just keep giving, don't they?
Keep shedding.
Nada pisu nichena, Dorora pisu hishuna, Ramanina manadena, Kirtaniya sadahari, Nadanam najanam nasundarim, Kavitam vajagadisha kamaye, Mama janmani janmani ishvare, Bhavatad bhaktir hoitaki twai, Ainanda tanuja kinkaram, Patitam mam vishame bhavam buddha, Kribayata vabada pankaja, Stita duli sadrashim vachintaya, Nainam giladashu daraya, Varanam gad gadurudaya gira, Pulakarnishitam vabrukada, Tavanama grahane bhavishyati, Yugayatam namishena, Chakshusha pravashayatam, Shunayatam jagat sarvam govindam virahename, Ashlishyava padamritamanastu adarshanam marmahato karotuva yatatatava vidadatulam batomat prananatastusa evanapara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind,